Hi, Alex. Thanks for seeing me today. I
Hello.
appreciate it.
Great to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet
What's
you.
your name?
Uh, well, it's a little personal, but
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. Well, so why are you here?
Well,
What are you interested in? Why are cob
I
houses
want to
so
build
interesting?
one of these. The earth. It's such a friendly, peaceful material. So, how long does it take to build one of these? Like 2 weeks?
No, it's going to take you a lot of time. I mean, it takes a lot of labor to build a cob house and any type of earthen structure. So, as far as a timetable, you're going to be looking at um, pretty similar to any standard conventional construction, or longer. So it's going to take,
Longer?
yeah, it could take you several months to, consistent work to get even a small structure completed.
So, like 3 months?
If you were working full hour days, 5, 6 days a week, you could potentially get it done in 3 months, but that would be really, really pushing it.
And that's like a 300, 400 square foot place that can be done in like 3 months, right?
Potentially, but
or are we talking a lot smaller is more practical?
well, smaller, you'd still be pushing it. Like 200 square foot, you'd be pushing it, but you could get that done in maybe 3 or 4 months with very consistent work.
But I'd have to hire a work crew, maybe, or just have a lot of friends.
You're going to need a lot of people. You can't do it by yourself, unless you want it to take years, bit by bit over the course of years. You're going to need a crew of people. I'd recommend having at least 3 or 4 minimum. More is always better, especially if you're going for speed.
So, like I've got family all over the world, okay? I think my grandmother lives in Hong Kong, and my aunt lives in Siberia. Do you build in, like, foreign countries or anything like that?
I don't build in foreign countries anymore, because the practicality, it just doesn't work. Because I'm based in the States, I work mostly in the Southeast, Georgia, North Florida, Tennessee, that kind of region, a bit of North Carolina. So I'm sort of based out of Atlanta. So, it's really hard for me to travel long distances to do projects because I don't have the crew, people available there. I don't have my tools, places to source materials from. It's just, when you're going to a new location anywhere, you got to kind of start from ground zero and figure things out. And I don't work in foreign countries anymore because it's too hard to get people to come and help. Unless you want to pay me like a standard builder's rate, I'm open to working in foreign countries to build for you, but I don't host workshops in foreign countries because it's too hard to get participants.
Well, what about like Utah or something?
Utah? Well,
You would just charge for
I'd probably have to. I don't know. I'm skeptical about starting a project so far out of my region, because my concern is having a project started and then things get halted, and then people are left with an unfinished building. So unless the builder or the host, the person who wants to have the building constructed, unless they're willing to put in the expense to have me travel that far of a distance out there consistently to get the project completed, then I don't think it's really viable. And it's really a commitment on the client. It's really a commitment on their part. If they're willing to commit the finances and the time and everything, I'm up for it. But it's like I just want to make sure it's
Just right.
it's going to work out. Yeah.
So, like, I don't always, like, I don't always get dirty. Do you build for people? Like, because I mean, I would love to live in one, but I don't know that I want to step in the mud to make it happen.
Yeah. Well, I like to have my workshop hosts or my clients come and stay at a workshop. And I do 5-day workshops during the spring and summers. So I like to have them come to at least one workshop to experience it so they know the material, its capabilities, and what you can do with it. It's good when they have...
So I would have to get very familiar with the product and very
Yes.
familiar with the
Yeah,
process.
that's really one of the requirements I like to have for workshop hosts or clients.
Okay. All right. How much money does it take to build one of these?
So there's a lot of variables for how much a building is going to cost. But there's also a lot of misconceptions about the costs of building with cob or earth materials or natural building materials in general. And they're really not so cheap and economical as people think. So you're really going to be looking at standard construction costs for the most part. You know, you have all the same elements as regular construction: foundations, windows, doors, utilities, roofing. There's a lot of elements, and then you might be saving some money on the walls because the walls are made of ingredients that are pretty cheap, but there's still a lot of other expenses that go into a building. So overall, you're really looking at the same price or sometimes even more expensive because there's a lot more labor that goes into it. So if you're hiring labor, then your price might be even steeper than conventional construction.
Okay, so because I'm on a very limited budget here, obviously, do you have a policy like we'll work for food, or are you okay to stay in a tent?
Well, in an ideal world, I guess that would be a nice way to do things, but I would quickly go out of business and go bankrupt, and then nobody would have my cob buildings created. So I do charge money for all my work.
But I have a reputation of cooking really well.
Yeah, sorry, I don't do charity work.
Okay.
Yeah, I get a lot of people, they want me to work for free or work for food or something, and it's just not possible. Sorry.
Well then. So, this is definitely something to consider. It looks quite massive. And you got this done in 3 weeks, you said? Maybe?
So far,
4 weeks, 2 months.
This is a small building. It's 140 square feet. A lot of people would consider this a tiny house. And so far, we've put about 5 weeks into this project. A little bit more, actually, because of all the foundation work. So it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time.
So if I wanted to do workshops, it would be so much per week, basically. So
Right.
it's, I mean, like you didn't do it like 5 weeks back to back.
No, yeah, this was 5 weeks spread out over the course of. It's been over a year now. So, yeah, if you want to do workshops to build a house, you're probably going to get your house built over the course of a couple of years, depending on the size of the building. So yeah, it's not going to be a quick process. The fastest way would be to hire a crew and hire me to train the crew and just work on it consistently and get it done like any standard building project. Workshops, you can save money, but at the same time, it's still not going to be cheap, and it's going to take a lot more time.
And like during the workshops, um, because I had mentioned I don't really like to get dirty, even if I go to a workshop, I guess. So, but let's say it's my workshop.
Yeah.
Is it um, preferred that I participate, or is it something that I'll just let you do your thing? Like, how does that work?
Well, the point of having you come to the workshop, if you're interested in building a cob structure, would be so you can get your hands into the material and get a feel for it for yourself. So, um,
Like
you know,
I would need to be involved then during the workshops.
yes, yes,
Okay.
that would be
Just
good.
like everybody else, just
Yes.
and you would guide and lead and
Yeah, I'd lead the class and I'd teach you how to do everything yourself, um, just so you have a feel for it and an understanding.
okay. All right. There was a few more questions I had. They don't really come to mind right now. Um, hmm. I'm sure I'll think of some.
Okay, well,
Yes.
we'll come back later and we'll
Yes.
answer the rest of your questions.
Thank you for seeing me today.
You're welcome.